Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Underrail und dieses Mal wird es wieder etwas spannender, nehme ich an. Na, ich weiß es noch nicht genau, denn dieses Mal werde ich auch wieder ein bisschen rumlaufen und noch Dialoge führen. Denn ich wollte jetzt noch gucken, dass wir mit unserem Haus was machen. Diesen Kopf abtransportieren. Und bei diesem anderen Dingens werde ich auch noch Missionen holen. Jetzt gucken wir erst nochmal, was wir hier für Missionen hatten. Ask you to go to Utility Station 7. Das war hier unterirdisch. First of all, bla bla bla, Institute West of Wing, T-Ray Emitter 2 days ago, bla bla, ist auch da. Principal Investigator Georges, Field Test and Experimental Chemical Pistol. Use the pistol in combat until you are sure there are no problems with its design and then return to Georges. Jetzt müssen wir also erstmal kämpfen, egal wo. Arista needs you to go to Institute of George Courtyard and find out if any of them had a history of surviving dangerous illnesses or diseases that would be deadly to most. Das könnten wir gleich schon machen. Wants to go to Forsaken Island and try to find the so-called Behemoth, a large. Okay, das können wir auch noch machen. Also gucken wir erstmal, dass wir hier vorne das mit den Leuten reden. A slow, unhurried male voice is heard from the intercom. Shortest evolution, brother. What do you need? I need to leave the institute building. What is the reason for your egress, brother? I'm official institute business. I'm on official institute business. Official business on whose authority? Principal investor Resta. Yes, I've been informed of that, brother. Oh, and I might need to take several trips back and forth. I will note that. Opening the gate now, brother. Short will guide you. Short guide you too, brother. Kale. Yes, mortal. Did you perhaps see any charters carrying a strange artifact? It looks like a 20-sided polygon. I don't remember seeing what you described. No. To be honest, most of the time I don't concern myself with mortal affairs. It's beneath me. Does that mean you are immortal? But of course, I'm special. Do you think this ability that was bestowed upon me would fit a mortal man? Just wasted once. I care the Lord of Invisibility perishes? No, that is not how things work, mortal, and I don't expect you to understand. How can you be so sure? He rolls his eyes. You and your mortal questions. How are you so sure? I'm sure because I possess should not be possessed by a mortal man. And if it is not for mortal man, then I am not mortal. Do you understand? But why exactly should an immortal man have the power to be invisible? Das hatten wir alles schon. Und da ist auch nichts Neues anscheinend bei Maurice. This corner is so fabulous. Check it. Ne, danke. Hi, Kordanor. More questions? Did you perhaps see any charters carrying a strange artifact? It looks like 20-sided polygon. What you described? No, I haven't seen. But I remember a large crew of charters coming back from Core City. That's what I overheard. And they seem to have had something pretty valuable with them. Again, I sort of overheard them talk. What happened then? They went inside. Huh? What else? Anyway, that's all I can remember seeing. What can you tell me about yourself? I'm a genetist from Foundry. What exactly do you mean by that? You see Foundry is a station, bla bla bla. Hatten wir alles schon. Ist auch nichts, was hindeutet, dass die eine Krankheit überlebt hätte. He angrily waves you away. What? You approach a young man standing next to a barrel full of boiling soup, which doesn't smell nearly as life-threatening as it looks. He wears old, worn out, but clean clothes that looks like they would easily disintegrate should he stand next to a passing train. His physique, on the other hand, is much more solid, handsome, with a burly body covered in clear, uniformly toned skin. That, combined with his unusually milky white teeth, makes him look like he was created to simply stand still and look good. His calloused and heavily scarred hands, however, imply the opposite. Mit dem hatten wir eigentlich auch schon alles gesprochen, aber mal gucken, ob wir jetzt hier neu... Also, dass er das hier überhaupt nochmal schreibt, ist irgendwie, naja. Hello, I'm Kordanor and I had some questions, if you have the time. Nice to meet you, Kordanor. I'm Detrius. I got nothing better to do anyway. What do you wanna ask? Ach ja, Drop Zone Plague. Tell me about yourself. At first he seems a bit uneasy about the question, but then he decides to answer. Well, I'm a simple zoner from Core City who is in search for something better in life. Heard of Drop Zone? I lived there my whole life. Awful place to live in. Awful people, awful food. If you can get your hands on some. And in general, it's awful. Was anything about the zone for you? Family, I suppose. Nothing else really comes to mind, but the zone enjoys taking away good things from you. Plague swept my whole family away. Father, mother, granddad, 5 sisters and 2 brothers. All of them older than me. All gone. It's usually easy to lose life in Drop Zone, but that plague, that was pure evil. Plague? Yes, a hardcore plague dominated half the zone several years ago. Not a lot of folks know about the plague, cause no one really cares what happens to the Drop Zone. But as zoners, we care, I care. My dearest are gone cause of that pipe-working plague. You're lucky to be alive. How did you manage to survive? He shrugs. Luck? It must be luck, cause I don't have an explanation why death decided to spare me. I mean, I've never been ill in my whole life. Ever. No colds, let alone something more serious. That's interesting. Maybe you were immune to the plague somehow. Have you ever been to a doctor? Blah 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 blah. Did you perhaps see any charters carrying a strange artifact? Looks like a 20-sided polygon. I don't know anything about any polygons and all that hardcore stuff. I'm just a simple zoner who minds his own business. Besides, I spent most of the time here, and the view is not the best. Maybe other folks can help you. Someone at the Institute of Chart is interested in the fact that you have survived the Drop Zone plague. He seems surprised by your statement. Interested? Why? Because you're special. You survived the plague despite the fact that it killed everyone from your family. It could be something genetic for all we know. I don't think I'm that special. I don't. His voice starts wavering nervously. And if it's in my genes, then why did my whole family die? Shouldn't we all have had that resistance if it's how it's called? Hereditary? Besides, what if it turns out that I'm not special? Then what's gonna happen to me? That I don't know. Maybe you were the first with the immunity. You were the youngest of all your siblings, right? Now is not the time to have second thoughts. You want to get the Institute of Chart or not? Stop being such a wimp, Detrius. You came here to join Institute of Chart. What more do you want? Here's your lucky chance. Now, take it. Nehmen wir das? He calms down. Ah, pipe works. Yes, you're right. But what do they need me for? What I mean is, what will they do to me? They're going to perform simple tests. They won't hurt you, so don't worry. Alright, count me in. He flashes a joyful smile. Hardcore. I am as nervous as a caged hopper, but count me in. I'm ready. Great. I'll go to talk to the Chartists. Expect someone to come from you soon? Was? For you soon. Für wen sollten wir das machen? Riester. Ja, machen wir später, wenn wir wieder da reinlaufen. Jetzt rede ich erst einmal mit den Händlern und guck mal, ob ich vielleicht noch was verkaufen kann. Okay. Gehen wir mal zum Merchant District. Ach so, und ganz oben, mit denen wollte ich auch noch reden. Naja, machen wir gleich. Also mit mich diesem Protektorat anschließen. Hast du wieder Geld? Nö. Ach so, und den könnte man nochmal auf dieses Bracelet ansprechen. He touches the bracelet, smiling, and then displays it for you to see. It is a white metal bracelet with engravings resembling some sort of writing. It is also heavily ornamented with different and interesting shapes. It is a gift from my wife. The writing is a language that is likely foreign to you, but it has a special meaning to us. It has the same color as Charon's, that thing made of super steel? Yes, it was made in foundry years ago. They have furnaces there that can melt Charon's, or at least had back then, when my wife was ordering the bracelets to be made. Actually, I think it was about the time they were making the 2 snake statues for Praetorian Security Headquarters. Yes, I remember she told me she saw them there unfinished. No. Na, dann haben die natürlich auch nichts Neues, aber... Na. Nö, achso, können wir mal gerade gucken, aber... Nö. Legen wir da mal Crafting-Kram rein. So. Ja, hier kann man dann also nichts weitermachen. Mit dem einen Typen noch reden, der in einem anderen Raum war. Der da. Nö. Dann gehe ich erst nochmal zu dem Protektorat und schließe mich da auch an. Ich wollte das ja ursprünglich noch nicht machen, weil ich nicht wusste, ob man sich damit irgendwo ausschließt, aber anscheinend ist das nicht der Fall. Ja, da fahren wir auch hin. Fort Apogee. Bzzz. Hm. Die Geräuschkulisse hier ist ein bisschen nervtötend. Ich hätte meine Waffe ablegen sollen, glaube ich. Ich wundere nur, dass sie mich vorher nicht schon angegriffen hatten. Na, hätten wir da reingemusst. Okay. Nochmal. Yes, said the man behind the table with a heavy booming voice. He is an older gentleman. Ja, das hatten wir ja schon. I would like a cup of tea. I see the Protectorate as the future of Underrail. I believe unifying the stations and a single rule is the proper way to make Underrail safe and prosperous. I wanted to help the South Underrail by fighting the raiders, bandits, and of course those filthy free drones. Protectorate is the largest and most powerful faction, immer das. Bla 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 bla. Kordanor, should you choose to become a member of the Underrail Protectorate, you will not be a part of any existing force. Your role will be a bit more specialized. I will be your commanding officer, and you will answer directly to me, and me only. My word is the law here. I remember that. So does that sound acceptable to you? Will you join the Protectorate? It is acceptable. I'm ready to join the Protectorate. Very good, very good. You will refer to me as Sir. And according to proper military etiquette, a junior officer always salutes his superior first. I suggest you familiarize yourself with the military etiquette, because from now on I will accept no excuses. Am I clear so far? Yes, sir. That's what I like to hear. For your assistance in the recovery of the captured train and for dedication to Protectorate, you are promoted to the rank of Corporal. And with that, you are allowed nearly full access to Fort Apogee. It's Fort Service, Armory, Mechanical Shop, Sleeping and Training Quarters, and so forth. While we are at it, you are advised to see Staff Sergeant Fraser when you have the time. He is in charge of your payment, and you can purchase equipment from him at any time. Do note that you will need United Station dollars to purchase anything in Fort Apogee. Staff Sergeant can also help you with that. Thank you, sir. Is that all, sir? Thank me by showing your dedication to Protectorate and the United Stations. We are far from over, Corporal. It just happens to be that I have a mission for you. Let's see what you're made of, Corporal. I'm ready to start my first briefing. He smiles. That's what I like to hear, Corporal. Listen up. For your first mission, I'm sending you to Ein Let, currently under Protectorate control. It is here in Upper Underrail, to the west from Fort Apogee. Ein Let? A relic from the times of Biocorp. Corporal, abandoned a long time ago. What you need to know is that it's now under Protectorate control and is a strategic location of extreme importance. So I was contacted by Captain Blackwall, the commanding officer there, and he informed me his patrols reported several strange sightings in the vicinity of Ein Let. You are to report to the captain and assist him with this little problem. Once you are finished with him, report back to me. Am I clear so far? Yes, sir. Loud and clear, sir. Good. That's what I like to hear. Anything else you want to know before you head there? How do I get to Ein Let? There are two ways to get there, starting from Fort Apogee. If you head north, turn south and the first intersection. And if you head, das macht keinen Sinn. And if you head south, turn north at the next intersection. You know, you're on the right track. If you follow the blue metro line, it will lead you to the train station and takes you to Ein Let. What can you tell me about Fort Apogee? Corporal, as you can witness for yourself, Fort Apogee is the main Protectorate base in South Underrail. It's been 5 years since Protectorate first arrived in the south, and we plan to stay here until law and order brought to this hell. It is hell, Corporal, you know it yourself. There were many obstacles in our way. They are still present, but Fort Apogee still stands. True, we are being resisted by anarchists, bandits and the like, but those are easy to deal with most of the time due to our military superiority. Logistics, that is a bigger issue. But the bad public opinion about the Protectorate is perhaps the largest obstacle we have to overcome, unfortunately. Fort Apogee should be the symbol of law, order, protection, not tyranny and oppression, as anarchists constantly claim. And it is something we are working hard on, Corporal. You are a part of the Protectorate now, Corporal. Never forget why we are here and what we fight for. What can you tell me about Consul Oliver? Consul Oliver is a man of diplomacy, which is desirable, considering he is the consul, he chuckles. I have great respect for him and can rely on him. I must admit that I am not someone who firmly believes that all issues can be resolved through superior firepower. But there are many occasions where exactly that is the case, and that is the reason Protectorate exists in the first place. When all hell breaks loose, it is our duty to deal with it and enforce order. Consul, unfortunately, often fails to realize that and comes to my office proposing certain diplomatic alternatives. Ones I know can't be applied in that particular case. Impossible, Corporal. Sometimes it's just impossible. Luckily, in those situations, I make the final decisions, no matter how difficult they sometimes are. Sir, salute and leave. Ah, Corporal, come in. What can I do for you? You mentioned you wanted to discuss something with me. Indeed, I have, Corporal. The situation is about to explain... What? The situation I am about to explain to you is not something that occurs often. In all honesty, this is the first time it had happened. At least, as far as I am aware. Perhaps that is the reason Colonel asked for my help in this. It requires a more diplomatic approach. Can you tell me what happened? Yes, I can, he takes a deep breath. We have a problem with several Protectorate soldiers that have gone renegade. It happened before you arrived not long ago. A squad under the command of SFC Timothy Holloway had simply left Fort Apogee. No one ever said anything. Nothing happened that could suggest why they'd leave. Nothing at all. They simply left. SFC? Sergeant First Class. Please, Corporal, do you know where they are? They've entrenched themselves, or so I've been told, at one of the stations. It's, for crying out loud, he takes a moment to think. Yes, Dollar Center, that's it. It's all the way to the west, past Core City Station. So what do you want me to do? Well, Corporal, I want you to find them and to negotiate their return. The offense is quite serious and the colonel was ready to take a bit more drastic measures. I convinced him to allow me to send someone to attempt a more diplomatic approach. You're an outsider, dear Corporal, or have been before the sergeant's squad renegaded. So I think they might feel less threatened if you play your cards right. What will happen to them if I convince them to come back? As I have said before, what they did was serious indeed. Court-martial most certainly awaits them. And the usual penalty for desertion is, well, death. However, if they surrender peacefully, better use the word return. If they return peacefully, then perhaps their punishment won't be as severe, considering that SFC Holloway has an outstanding record. Everything is up to Colonel Cathcart in the end. So what do you say to this? I'll do it. Bravo, just bravo, I've told you everything I know, dear Corporal. If you need more information, the Colonel is your best bet. Good luck on your mission. Hast du sonst noch was zu sagen? What can you tell me about Fort Apogee? While many associate Fort Apogee with the Protectorate military might, one must not forget that the United Stations Consulate is located here. All North Underrail citizens, or generally citizens from all station that is a member of the Union, are always reminded that they can seek refuge here in case of emergency. It's been 5 years since the base was built. And while we still haven't integrated any of the South Underrail stations, we've made enormous progress. For example, take a look at Junkyard. We have an embassy there, and as you know, Junkyard is one of the most hostile places in the south. Slowly but surely, we'll bring prosperity to this region. I truly believe it. What can you tell me about Colonel Cathcart? Colonel Cathcart is the base commander of Fort Apogee. He is an incredibly competent individual, and I feel, and I really mean it, that I'm quite fortunate to be working with him. You see, the United States and Protectorate work closely on accomplishing our common goals. United States are concerned with diplomacy and integrations. Protectorate with enforcing law and order. Therefore, it is essential that the two understand to understand each other well. With that said, Colonel Cathcart can be a bit adamant when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to the age of the old diplomatic versus combat approaches, but fortunately our disagreements were few and far between, and naturally such things are bound to happen from time to time. All in all, as far as I'm concerned, Fort Apogee has the best commander it could possibly have. Goodbye. Okay, hast du noch was zu sagen hier, Hoshi? Branko, is that a dead pixel? Okay, wird wohl doch wieder ein Laberteil werden. Brrr. You approach a strapping young lad. He seems to be working with great speed and precision, serving the soldiers, talking to the cook, and even noticing you standing outside of the queue, attempting to start a conversation. Oh, Corporal, hello, first time seeing you here. Welcome to DFAC, better known as the Mess Hall, he laughs. As you can probably tell, we are quite busy here, he turns to the cook. Running low on red hound stew, cost. Everyone calls me Case, sir, especially when they're hungry, but then it often sounds like, hey Case, step it up, boy, we're starving here, he laughs. Does everyone eat here or gucken wir mal. Sure, but you have to wait for your turn, Corporal. I hope you didn't mean to jump the queue. But I'm really hungry. Every person in the stare gives you an intense stare, so much, in fact, that you can almost feel the command energy burning you. Then Case continues. You are not the only one who's hungry here, Corporal. The rules are rules. You have to wait in queue, just like everyone else. Wait for your turn. Does everyone eat here or just the soldiers? Well, sir, the mess hall is for everyone. Everyone from Port Apogee, that is, he laughs. Soldiers, workers, mechanics, medical staff, officers. It makes the atmosphere a bit more interesting, in my opinion. For instance, you can see Luca, our head mechanic, and Anastasia, Dr. Merrick, sitting together and chatting. Two completely different people, different backgrounds, jobs. They sit down, chat, joke, or discuss important subjects, like childhood friends, even though they are far from it. But others are not so friendly. Some Northerners here feel that they shouldn't socialize with us, Southerners, that is. Like, for example, Staff Sergeant Fraser. He stops for a moment looking around. You suspect that he realized he spoke the name a bit too loud. Why did you join the Protectorate? Opportunity presented itself, so I'm a southerner just like you. I wanted to... Just a second. He counts the dollars and gives the change back to one of the soldiers. Yeah, thanks. Enjoy your meal. Where was I? Oh yes, I wanted to get away from all that and help my fellow southerners. I think this is a rotten place to live in. Poverty, death, disease, people. Then Underrail Protectorate arrived. United Nations unification. It seemed like the right idea at the time. Still does, actually. So how did you end up in the mess hall? I have some knee issues. Rotten thing. Not literally, of course. It's just, I wasn't meant to be a soldier, Corporal. He smiles. Wasn't meant to be. What can you tell me about the free drones? I can't talk about that, Corporal. Forgive me. It's complicated. Tell me when the queue clears, if it is something you don't want everyone to hear. He considers this for several moments, looking really uncomfortable. Still, your words seem to have persuaded him. Wunderbar. Let's wait for the queue to clear. Just another moment. After the queue finally disappears, Case leans on the counter and whispers to you. Free drones. I know several people who are members, fighters, however you want to call them. Oh, and this stays between us, of course, sir. Anyway, I have known those people since childhood. They were good kids, good men and women later. I couldn't possibly imagine them joining an anarchist group, a violent group like the Free Drones. You have friends there? Do you still see them? Of course not. Are you derailed, sir? If anyone was to find out, look, I know they are our enemies, and the Drones are ruthless and rotten and everything, but I always think of my childhood friends. They are always in my head, whenever I hear Drones mentioned. What if they are killed somewhere, captured? What if I see them again, or they see me working for the Protectorate? It's confusing. Do you dig? Understand what I mean, Corporal? I understand. Life is not black and white, as some would like to believe. You have to forget about them. They are our enemies and are not our friends anymore. Do you really think they are concerned about you? Madas? Thank you for listening, Corporal. Thank you. He spots a person approaching. Let's change the subject. Where in Fort Apogee can I exchange currencies? Staff Sergeant Fraser can help you with that, Corporal. He's by the entrance. Hard to miss, sir. What can you tell me about Fraser? He pauses briefly. Corporal, you know how they often say, if you can't say something nice about someone, don't say anything at all. What can you tell me about Consul Oliver? Well, sir, I respect the consul, I really do, and he's a very dedicated man, one who believes that the unification should be accomplished primarily through diplomatic means, which is unlike some of the recent shoot first and ask questions later kind of policies, but he needs to have, needs what? After a brief moment, he finds the word he was looking for. He needs bigger stones, sir. Fort Apogee is an odd place, in something stranger than the rest of South Underrail. You need to elbow your way through if you want something done, and the poor consul, he just plays it too nice. But again, I respect him, I really do, and I'm not the only one. What can you tell me about Colonel Cathcart? Well, sir, his work is rather difficult, I can tell you. He has to deal with a lot of, well, problems. All South Underrail troops are under his direct command, so it takes a real man to be able to coordinate that. Is he the man? I think he is. It can be a rotten place, South Underrail. You and me know it. Corporal, 5 years ago, Protectorate had no presence in the South now. Now, we'd have more if Core City wasn't in the way, but still. Look at us now. We are expanding our influence. I think the South will benefit from it. I really do. What can you tell me about Luca? Hey, he's a fellow Southerner, just like you and me. So, one from Core City, first man I befriended in this rotten place. Oops, I didn't mean it that way, he laughs. Although, my first days here sort of felt like that. Anyway, he is the head mechanic. You can find him in the mech bay. He fell in love with dreadnoughts from the moment he laid his eyes on the beasts, and I can't blame him. Those machines are nice, hardcore. We often hang out near the rig A ring, have a few brews. Okay, a lot of brews. You are free to join us, Corporal, if you have the time and will. Anastasia. The expression saddens. You know, if you ask people about Doc Merrick, everyone immediately goes, "Oh, poor woman, her voice is ruined, she's this, she that." Move aside, I mean, really, look past that. You don't need to constantly jab about it and show that you recognize how difficult it is for her. Talk about the goods, about her being a great person, a great doctor, you dig? I mean, not you, but the people around her. Personally, it is my honor to put food on her plate every day, and I make sure I always greet her with a smile. She deserves it. What can you tell me about the faceless? I've heard stories of tunnelers, better known as faceless, since I was a little kid, but I never believed any of that. Now that story is different. Everyone is aware of them, and everyone is afraid of those rotten cyborgs, whatever they are. It's not their looks, it's not their weapons or their huge tunneling machines that frightens everyone. It's that we know so little about them. You dig? Understand what I'm saying, sir? It's the fear of the unknown that make the faceless so dreadful. I'll leave you to your jobs. Case, see you later. Puh. War ja unten noch was? Fraser. Puh. You approach the man you believe to be Staff Sergeant Fraser. You stand still and salute him, and he returns it. During this brief salute, the two of you get the chance to take a look at each other. The first thing you notice is a thin but impressively long nose sitting between his brown eyes. Beneath it, you see jagged lips slowly reshape themselves into a condescending smile. For he, too, must have noticed something on you that caused that smirk. Then he opens his mouth to deliver a high-pitched nasal voice that borders on being feminine, and thus the conversation begins. At East Corporal, I'm Staff Sergeant Eric Fraser. I am the quartermaster here at Fort Apogee. So if you need equipment or need to exchange currency, I am the one to come to. Now, Corporal, what will be? Show me what you got, Barter. Die haben halt einen Haufen Asche, also das muss man ja schon sagen. $12.500 wert. Ordentlich. I like to exchange currency. The current exchange rate is 5 charons for $2 if you are buying dollars, and $2 for 3 charons if you buy charons. Thanks, I just need the info. Okay. 5 charons ist auf jeden Fall eine Rate, die and $2 for 3 charons. Und das ist natürlich nicht so günstig, da bekommt man nicht so viel bei raus. Also wir bekommen für 100 bekommen wir 90, das ist aber okay. Und wir können für 60... Ne, Moment. 5 Charons. Das sind 150. Da kriegen wir 100 für. Das lohnt sich ja mal gar nicht. Aber die andere Exchange Rate ist ganz okay. Do you work with SGS credits by any chance? SGS credits? Oh no, only Charons and United States dollars, I'm afraid. You know, perhaps I should have mentioned that earlier, but I had forgotten you were from SGS. Heh, that is one remote place. I couldn't imagine myself ever wanting to go that far south, unless it gets a bit more northernized. No offense, he smirks. Why did you join the Protectorate? Corporal, that is a good question. I joined the Underrail Protectorate to become a part of the mightiest military machinery this violent world of ours had ever seen. I was born in the north, and the homeland, and felt a great, the word eludes me, a great appeal to this idea of unifying the whole Underrail under a single powerful rule. No offense, but the south is not really the most sophisticated region of Underrail, isn't it true? You ought to know it better than me. Bandits, murderers, lunatics, chartists, what up with that? As your kind would say it, South Underrail seems pretty derailed to me. It needs discipline, whether the simple folk want it or not. What can you tell me about the free drones? Free drones. I don't see what the big deal is about them. They are but a minor nuisance to us. Protectorate is strong enough to wipe the ground with these anarchists. Corporal, I've already heard about the rail crossing situation and know what you did. If one, no offense, simple southerner can stand in their way, then, well, you understand, don't you? Did you just call me simple? No, Corporal, you must be hearing things. Besides, I don't like that tone of yours. That's not how you talk to superior officer. What can you tell me about Colonel Cathcart? An outstanding man, a truly brilliant commander and a friend of mine, if I may say so. You've met him yourself, Corporal. I think you should have realized that by now. How can one not? I could go on and on about him, but I'll choose to be concise. Without him, Underrail Protectorate wouldn't have any presence in the south. I've been here during the crucial moments where subtle moves meant youths, was? Subtle moves meant you stay in the game or you get kicked out. Meant you stay in the game or you get kicked out. He played the moves right. That's all you need to hear from him. From me. Das war jetzt Oliver. The consul is our compatriot, a true northerner, educated, intelligent, honest, a good-natured man, perhaps even too good-natured sometimes. This is South Underrail after all, and here you have to have your claws sharpened, whether you come as Protectorate soldier or a United States diplomat. Most Southerners are so unrefined and decadent, Corporal. Diplomacy gets incredibly difficult when you're dealing with people who are on the same level as you are. Aren't on the same level as you are. You have a problem with Southerners? Corporal, really now, I don't know where you got that idea. I was merely talking about certain Southerners, the Ratters. Please, you and your ideas, he laughs. What can you tell me about Anastasia? Corporal, that woman is a diamond. She is far greater hero than any one of us here, no matter how surprising that might seem to you. Her train was assaulted by the Free Drones, those barbarians, and they hurt her. And she was traveling to Fort Apogee to help our soldiers. And her reward for such a big heart, she suffered chemical burns on her body as well as permanent voice damage from the toxic gas. Heh! And do you know what she did after that, Corporal, do you? She carried on. She knew brave Protectorate soldiers needed her help, and she stayed here all these years, despite being offered to return to the homeland and retire, all on Protectorate expense. It takes true bravery and commitment to do that, Corporal. She's a true Northerner and an inspiration to us all. What can you tell me about Case? He sighs. Look, Corporal, if you feel the need to ask me about various people from Fort Apogee, ask about someone important, and someone who is not a Mreta, preferably. Especially not someone who is named Justin. Case. He laughs. What a stupid name. Oh well, what would you expect? What can you tell me about Faceless? They are not to be toyed with, Corporal, and we all understand it. They never made any hostile moves against us, and at least not directly, but Port Zenith in core cities under Protectorate control, and if the Faceless make the wrong move, they might just taste the bitter end of it. We are ready for everything, as always. The South is really a freak show, isn't it? But you know this very well already, so that comment was redundant, I suppose. Salute and leave. Dann gehen wir mal da lang. Große Zone, aber das ist zumindest... Ne, da oben geht's auch noch weiter. Da können wir vermutlich dann auch boxen, wo ich aber gar keine Chance haben würde. I heard the Faceless eat sissies for breakfast, so you all better watch out, sissies. Yo, my dreadnought is undergoing maintenance at the moment, so I'm chillin'. Look at those pathetic recruits. Huh. Pants, give up while you still have the chance. Hooray! Bam! I must break you. Do you feel that? Do you feel pain? You're good, but not good enough. I'll smash your face. Take this. You fight like a wimp. Oha. Na, haben wir schon alles. Go ahead. Duckom. Someone bothering you, you point and I'll shoot. Fires up the drill and laughs diabolically. This petite, middle-aged woman you see before you seems to be studying some medical charts. Since your eyes were immediately drawn to the charts she was holding, you are quick to notice that one of her hands is badly scarred. The horribly warped skin of her left hand, diffusing from a few spots and contrasting her otherwise clear skin, seems to have been caused by the healing of a deep burn. She is aware you're looking, but does nothing to conceal the object of your interest. Instead, she lowers the charts and begins talking. However, her voice offers yet another surprise. It is a product of two clearly separate, violently dissonant voices clashing against each other before merging into one jarring sound. Corporal, nice to meet you. Kordanor, was it? That's right, it's Kordanor. Who are you? My name is Anastasia. Anastasia Merrick. That is the sorry, this is the infirmary. As you can tell, and I am the chief physician here. I am interested in medical supplies. Trance. Yeah. Corporal. Excuse me for asking, but can you tell me what happened to your head and your voice? She waits for several seconds, slowly swallowing during her silence. After this brief pause, she replies, It's okay to ask. You see, Corporal, I was a victim of a chemical attack several years ago. I was traveling to Fort Apogee by a civilian train, from North Underrail. Back then, there was no need for anything, every train to have troopers aboard. Since that section of the railway was considered safe. Yet, just before reaching South Underrail, the train was ambushed near a small station. It was my first trip to South Underrail. The attackers used chemical weapons, launchers, grenades, some of the corrosive substance burned clean through this hand here. Burned my left leg, but the gas hurt my throat. I could feel burning, deforming my throat with every inhale. The damage to my vocal folds is irreversible. I managed to protect my eyes somehow, which is very fortunate. A blind doctor is you understand. That is horrible. Who would do something like horrible as that? We were told that the free drones did it. Southerners apparently, to deter Protectorate from moving into South Underrail. I have no reason to doubt they were behind it. Corporal bandits would have robbed us. Slavers would have kidnapped us. Drones, they cause pain and death. They run away. That's all they ever do. Remember hearing the anti-protectorate chants. They laughed at the people dying. And the free drones haven't changed to this day. From what I hear, barbarians. What can you tell me about the free drones? Because of the free drones, I have difficulty speaking, to put it mildly. All this you're hearing, it's because of them. To illustrate, sometimes my throat muscles squeeze my larynx so hard it chokes me. I then have to swallow in order to ease the tension. Sometimes it doesn't go away at once. It contracts and doesn't let go. That's the free drones. Pain. Why did you decide to help the Protectorate? I wanted to help people. That's it. South Underrail is a much more She stops her face red. As she slowly swallows, the color reverts and she proceeds. Dangerous place, the north. Even despite my problems, I am able to do it and won't stop while my help is needed. What can you tell me about Consul Oliver? He is a well-educated man, dedicated to his work, capable, comes from a wealthy family, but he sometimes seems a bit detached from what is reality happening around him. Sitting in the office, isolated, affects the perception sometimes. And I understand it well myself. When I came here from North Underrail, I imagined the South differently, much differently. I failed to realize how bad it is here, until I saw myself experienced it for myself. Oh, what I am, saying, Consul is competent, man, maybe I'm just, or forget I said anything. What can you tell me about Colonel Cathcart? Hier muss man gerade gucken, was die Zeit sagt. You better ask the soldiers that. Question. Because it's their lives that are in his hands. I have only good things to say about the colonel. But unfortunately, his decisions mean life or death to the troops. While I just treat the ones who weren't as unfortunate or, depending on the injuries suffered, as fortunate, as those who were killed in action. However, recently I've been having more patience than usual. I don't know how good or bad that is in relation to the big picture. I am just a physician. I only care about saving lives. Fraser. A frown chisels itself from her forehead. Staff Sergeant is always speaking well of me. All this supremacist nonsense. How I am a brave northerner doctor who, despite her disabilities, had preserved and stayed in Fort Apogee, to aid the cause. I dislike such people, but I have to deal with them. I am afraid he's a rotten man, Corporal, and sadly not the only one around. He despises all who aren't Northerners. He asks me why I socialize with Southerners, like Kluger or Justin. He doesn't explicitly call them Retters, but, naja, doch hat er. He implies it. It's always at the top of his tongue. I suppose the two of us represent protectorate in completely opposite ways, sadly. My words are precious, Corporal, and I wouldn't want to waste them on that man. What can you tell me about Luca? She smiles. Luca is a very nice man. Very charming. He is the head mechanic, a dreadnought expert. He is fascinated by those machines so much. We hang out all the time, and despite our different professions and different environments we grew up in, we found that we have a lot in common. She laughs, which, due to her damaged throat, sounds like two jagged rocks grinding against each other. When we are having lunch in the mess, we take turns at talking about our jobs. He'd talk about machines, tools, his colleagues, whatever happens to be on his mind at the time. And after that, I talk about my mad stuff. I usually pick the grossest examples I could remember. He's very squeamish, so I often go into great detail. She smiles. And then end it with enjoy a meal. I think we both earned a lot about each other's professions and approaches to life. Interactions like that enrich a person. What can you tell me about Case? He's got anterior cruciate ligament injury in his left knee. She pauses for a split second before continuing. I don't know why I said that. First. It's how my brain works. I suppose he works at the mess. Very kind. Man, he's a southerner, much like you. So I reckon you'd have a lot of common subjects. The knee injury prevents him from being a soldier, but I think that's good for him. I have treated so many horrible injuries and have seen things. At least he doesn't have to worry about any of that happening to him. What can you tell me about the Faceless? Probably nothing, because I don't know much about them. I've heard rumors, stories about, but I'd rather not comment. See you around, Doc. We better not, if you know what I mean. She smiles. Okay. Das war etwas anstrengend. Dann haben wir jetzt noch den Maschinisten, dann sind wir auch schon durch. Will. You approach a man who is working on a console next to one of the dreadnoughts. The oil splotches on his overalls quickly yanks your attention toward it. The more and more you stare at them, the more separate and interesting shapes you manage to identify. There's a three-legged rat hound, a mushroom, a stalagmite, a bat, a blob, and a larger blob. However, you are uninterrupted when the man notices you staring at his clothes. What you doing there, sir? The oil splatters on your overalls form some truly interesting shapes. He laughs, revealing a few teeth he's got. Look over here, I found Staff Sergeant Fraser on me bum. Somehow, some oil spilled on the chair, and I sat on it. He shows you an ugly blot on his rear, one that looks like a man with a greatly oversized nose. Look at that beak. He laughs. That's what I thought at first. Oh, best blot ever. Hey, name's Will, sir. I have some questions for you, Will. I'm afraid I don't have much time to chat, sir. If you need me to do something, it's okay. But otherwise, chatting means not working. I had some questions. Sorry, sir. No time to chat. Lots of work. Although, me tummy is showing signs of emptiness. No, I'll eat later. Gotta finish this thing here. I leave you to your work, Will. Jo, dann werde ich hier einen Schnitt machen. Und dann wird es am nächsten Mal erstmal weiter mit Labern gehen und dann vielleicht doch mal raus. Bis denn!